Good morning, Salford. Here we are with Caffeine Music. We've got a very special episode today. Two lovely guests from the band Dacara. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hey, I'm Emma, and I do the vocals.
I'm David. I do too much.
Oh, poor David. Has poor David been overworked?
No, I just do loads of stuff in the band, like the production, the live elements, all that stuff.
Nice.
But I am the guitarist from a less too much perspective. So
We appreciate him.
A ball of energy.
I'm glad
You
someone
really were that. So we're just going to get to know you guys better. So we've got some quick fire questions. Yay! Easy questions. And this question is a classic. I have to ask this. If you had one album on a deserted island with you, what would that be?
Suicide Season, Bring Me Horizon,
Fantastic.
hands
album.
down.
Fantastic album.
God, mine's probably The Poison by Bullet. Like, showing my age there,
Ooh.
it's probably The Poison.
I knew that.
That's an obscure pick.
It's such a good album. Like,
is.
It is, to be fair, I do agree.
I don't think I've had a conversation with that's been mentioned in a while.
a lot of people don't have correct opinions there. Nah, it's a cracking album, and obviously, just like I said, showing my age, it's from 2004 or something. So
2004, yeah.
So, like, in the grand scheme of music, it's insanely old, which is why, obviously, a lot of people will pick much newer albums or much older, where they're sort of classics kind of thing.
What I will say is the first episode of this show, we played blues music.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
that's
first
good.
song we played was Muddy Waters, Manish Boy. So if you want to talk about old.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So the next question I've got for you guys, dream collaborations. This can be any media. It doesn't have to be music.
Baby Metal.
Oh, I was going to wait until we could say it at the same
Oh,
time.
okay. Sorry. Let's do that again. Baby Metal.
They are amazing live.
They're so
Just
good.
So good. I saw them in Toronto.
Nice.
Ooh, that's cool.
In the middle of one of the Great Lakes. It's freezing. I should have brought my Baby Metal hoodie. Damn it.
Yeah, they're like one of mine and Emma's favorite bands. Obviously, well, you saw us play Kingslayer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that was phenomenal.
The energy they bring to other bands, especially, is just insane. They bring just a total different vibe to stuff.
So I have to ask, are you guys going to see them in London next year?
It depends on the date.
Well, it's in May, 30th of May, I believe.
30th of May.
I feel like I could book work off in that far in advance. We'll be all right.
I already have. So, okay, next question. Best venue you have played at or would like to play at?
So best venue we've played at for me is Rebellion.
Stage is huge.
Yeah, the stage is massive. It's got a real undergroundy vibe, if you get me.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good one.
And the fact that there's no mojo for like a 400 cap venue, like having no barrier between the band and the crowd is just something that you start to sort of lose when you start going that high up. So it's a cool, intimate, big venue, which just really ticks all my boxes.
Yeah, I've come off the stage before and joined like the proper whatever it was. I don't even remember.
The Pit.
Yeah. Why did I forget the word for pit? That's so embarrassing. Yeah,
Don't worry,
I joined the pit.
it is a pre-recorded show. We can always cut it out.
And then,
Thank
obviously,
you.
honourable mentions. Obviously, Death Institute. We just played Death Institute.
Yeah, that was
It'd be rude to
amazing.
not do an honourable mention for Death Institute.
They are listening.
They are listening. No, they're not.
Oh, God.
Oh, they might be. It's Tokyo. Big company. And then, I don't know. Aside from those two, another honourable mention, Retro, I'd say.
Well, yeah, the whole, like, we started there.
Yeah,
so-
like,
Oh, is that like your roots? That's like
Yeah.
yeah.
little home.
We'll go into it a lot more later, kind of thing. But yeah, like Retro definitely deserves an honourable mention. To me, it's like Manchester's premier dive bar,
Yeah.
if you get me.
Yeah, no, and you are very, very, centered on that Manchester image,
Yeah.
which is another thing we'll get to later. So I have to say, favorite album of this year.
Okay, so mine's a bit weird because it's not metal or rock, like, at all.
Oh,
I like a band called Chase Atlantic, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to say
know.
Lost in Heaven is so good.
it is a very, very good album. Actually.
Yeah, I adore it. Because obviously they had like 4 songs already teased before they released the whole thing, and I was like playing those on repeat so much until the album came out, and I was like, oh my god.
Do you know there's like YouTube radio like playlists you get? I think I heard the single. I can't remember the name of the single now. On one of those, it's really catchy. It
Oh,
really
it's
sticks
yeah.
with you. You're walking around the other day going, "God, it's in my head." It's like stuff like that. All right, and yourself.
So I've had to think about this, and I just couldn't think of anything because I'm not again, we can tell from my age of saying The Poison. I was like, oh, the new Bring Me album's great, and then I was like, oh wait, that one came out like 4 years ago. So it's probably going not massive. Have you ever heard of a band called Shrapnel?
I'm not sure I have actually.
They're a really good like thrash metalcore band. Just got a new vocalist, and all personal opinions aside, because I'm friends with the vocalist, but like removing that, their new album is phenomenal. Like it's, again, going back to sort of like less thrash and more like Trivium kind of vibes, which is really cool to like hear in wavesy style Trivium from a more modern band, if you get me.
That's not something that's really tackled these days, is it?
No, that's sort of like
quite an old style, that.
Yeah, the sort of like more riffy metalcore.
Yeah.
I'm saying riffy. That sort of more like classic riffy metalcore is just really cool to hear people do, because not many people are doing it anymore. So yeah, that album's like absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Shrapnel.
Shrapnel are good.
I'm adding them to my playlist.
Yeah, 100%. Follow the Cold is amazing.
Yeah, I've got to get them on the show then. Like on.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So definitely, it's very much telling your personality straight away.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer that music is one of those things that's guide to the soul. You see what people are like by the music they listen to.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, man.
So, an artist that made you want to start playing music?
See, this is a really weird question for me with my instrument, because I've always been singing. It's just something I've always wanted to do and always just done. So, like, from the get-go, when I was, like, a kid, you know, I was always trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I was older, and my dad came into my room one day. I remember him going, you know, you can just be a singer if you want to. And I went, really? I could do that? Because in my kid head, I thought you had to be famous before you could sing. So I was like, oh, I could just do that. And he went, yeah. So I've just always wanted to sing. So I don't really think I've had an influence that's made me want to. It's been, I've wanted to sing. Now that I know that, let's listen to the artists and go, okay, who am I drawn to the most?
That's quite inspiring, actually, that, because a lot of people connect and like put themselves on the image of the other artists, but you've built your own image up, which I think, if you know what I'm saying, definitely helps Dacara's image, because you guys are making your own way, kind of.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Obviously, Emma brings a really unique approach to the table compared to, say, me, Callum, and Ben, who obviously had bands that were just like, we want to be that. But for me, MCR, Dragon Force, and Bullet for My Valentine, they're sort of the three, like that road of like listened to Black Parade, went down to Inhuman Rampage by Dragon Force, went up to that in terms of like metal, and then went to Screaming Fire by Bullet. I think I heard Waking the Demon on Kerrang! Or Scuzz, I can't remember which it was, but that was kind of like my going, oh, I want to do this.
I feel like I haven't listened to Kerrang! In like 5 years.
Yeah, well, it was Kerrang! TV, so that's how long ago that was.
Oh my. You're making me feel old. So, last question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could spend a day with any artist or celebrity, dead or alive, who would that be?
Hatsune Miku. Yeah, Hatsune Miku is just kind of a really cool concept. It's kind of that gorillas-y thing of like, obviously the gorillas aren't real people.
Yeah.
And Hatsune Miku isn't a real person.
But she could for us in this imaginary scenario.
Yeah, in this imaginary scenario, Hatsune Miku is real. Don't break the image. Don't break our illusion. No, it's just cool. I think Vocaloid and all that stuff is really cool, and the person who is doing Hatsune Miku is definitely, well, their brain is on, because it's just...
Are we meeting them, or are we meeting...
No, we're meeting Hatsune Miku.
Okay.
Hatsune Miku's a real person, Emma.
Hi, Nana. If you're wondering who Hatsune Miku is, don't look it up. Make sure you have safe search on. Yeah. Basically, for the listeners who don't know, Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid, like a computer made by a lot of Japanese artists, and they make songs with this. So it's really interesting, and it is a concept I was going to go into someday when I was going to look at like J-pop and music from Japan. It is a very modern thing, and it's something, you know, people say, oh, AI is taking over everything. No, we've had a Vocaloid computer hand doing this for like last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still here doing crap, you know.
It's fine. It's fine.
You could have said worse. Don't worry, we had a guy who played Kanye the other day, which is interesting.
Oh wow.
Oh.
So now we're going to go to the in-depth questions, the meat. Yeah, the big. You got your big juicy burger. This is the burger, right? So, how did you guys form? Set the stage in 2019.
So quick fire into it. Like me and Callum have been in bands together since 2016-ish, maybe a bit earlier. We're in a metalcore project, which didn't do anything. Just nature of music and bands. You'll be in a band, it flops, you go to another band until you find the one that really sticks with you. And then through a mutual acquaintance of ours, we met Emma.
I was a fan of your band before.
For some
Dacara.
reason.
I went to like every one of their shows.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I did. I thought they were really talented musicians. So when it came to like a chance to being in a band with them, I was like, well, yeah. Like, I can't really go wrong there. I already know that they're sick, so.
Yeah, me and Callum had this idea for like a rock band for a while whilst we were doing this band. From previous bands that both me and Callum had been in, we just really enjoyed that, like, not having to think as much about what you're playing, because obviously when you're playing like really riff-based metalcore, you have to like dime in. Well, at mine and Callum's skill level, I'm sure people like Tim Henson can like play that in their sleep, but
stop talking down to yourself. I swear to God. I'm gonna get a sign and say no.
Just like a cat spray. So yeah, I think it was like Emma and Callum started writing a couple of things for Emma's uni, for a uni project.
Yeah.
And again, we'll get onto that a bit later. It kind of ties in
to the Just Monica.
Yeah, Just Monica. And then I think we just sat down and kind of did a gig together, like a no-name gig, like just a throwaway, let's see how this does, and just kind of went, oh,
We gel.
this is fun. And since then, it's kind of just been a thing, and the bassist has changed in between, kind of thing. And then when we released Repent, I think it was, Ben kind of got on board. He was initially just depping for a show or two, and then he was depping for more than one, and then a few more, and then we're like, oh, we really like Ben. We're gonna try and keep Ben, because Ben is like one of the best musicians I know. He is wasted on like playing bass in Dacara, and that's not to insult the bass lines in Dacara. It's just a comment on how talented Ben is as a musician.
He's been with us for 2 years now.
Yeah, about 2.
Yeah, we want to keep him. Forever.
We want to keep him. But yeah, me and Ben have known each other since like the early days of like me being in Warrington's music scene. He was in a band and I was in a band, and I've always wanted to have him in a band with me. And then Dacara just kind of like everything fell into place with getting Ben on board. So yeah, it was fun. And obviously can't explain explain the importance of Emma enough. Like at the end of the day, what was that?
Thanks, lad.
You're welcome, mate.
Appreciation for Emma time. Let's go.
Obviously, at the end of the day, me, Callum, and Ben can all write music as much as we want. Like we can write nice tries, we can write has-beens, and like it doesn't matter how cool the instruments are. Like everyone wants a hook to lock onto. Everyone wants lyrics to relate to. Everyone wants a song, and like. Whilst there are bands out there doing this incredible instrumental music and writing phenomenal music that people can relate to musically, it's not mine, Callum, or Ben's thing. So, like, Emma's just, yeah, I can't sing enough praises about the rest of the band, to be quite honest. But I kind of gushed over Ben a bit, so we'll give Emma a bit of time in the spotlight for this minute I've been talking.
You guys are gold. You're so cute. You're gold. It's quite refreshing to see a band going like, yeah, we love all our members, and everybody plays their role. And
yeah,
brilliantly.
We're a little family, man. That's how I see it.
That's really nice to hear. Actually, that's really nice. That's putting a big smile on my face.
Oh, good. That's what we want Dacara to be.
If Callum's watching this, Callum, I love you as well.
Yeah.
You've just been here since the beginning, and like we'll touch on how important you are when it comes to the music. I'm sorry, Bibby.
They're attached by the hips, so.
Yeah.
Aww. Quite literally, I guess.
Quite literally.
Just get tape for next show. I think you might be bringing him around.
Oh yeah, he'll be stuck with me.
Yeah.
He'll be stuck with me.
So when I saw these guys live at Death Institute, Death Institute is amazing. And go watch Dacara, they're absolutely amazing live.
Come by.
Yeah. You didn't stop moving.
Oh,
You were everywhere. It was like watching The Flash. It was like, oh, he's over there, he's over there, he's over there.
It's the Red Bull, man.
It's the Red Bull. 2 liters of Red Bull a day. It gives you wings.
Yeah.
Oh my. Right, we'll move on to the next question then. So you guys started technically in 2019, I guess, with your single Matches coming out.
Yes.
What was the creative process with that, and what was the ups and challenges with that?
So Matches is a weird one for us because Matches is a very old song in the grand scheme of like Dacara's musicians being musicians. Matches came from an old band I was in called Above the Apex, and if there's a few people who followed Dacara who know of Above the Apex and watched Above the Apex back in the day. And Matches was one of our songs, Above the Apex is, and I got the entire band's permission because that band split up well before Dacara were a thing. We never released Matches. Like, it was one of those people who saw us live knew it was a Above the Apex song, but that was kind of it. And it was kind of one of those of like, right, we've got some songs together, but let's just try and make something of this song that is quite cool and put it together and put a Dacara spin on it instead of just here's a song David's brought to the table. Let's all just do exactly what it previously did. Let's take the bones of this song and turn it into one of our songs. And obviously Emma will vouch here. Like one of the first things was adjusting the lyrics for something that Emma.
There's no offense, to the previous vocalist, but I needed it to be something that was more true to me than, her, if that makes sense. It was still about burning people, but toned down because it was very violent before.
I have to say, I don't endorse burning people.
No,
I'm making
don't.
that clear.
Yeah, don't burn people unless it's consensual.
No.
But yeah, like Matches, obviously Callum did his own thing on it, on the drums. We adjusted like the production, the vocal harmonies, because that was one of the biggest things coming into it was like when you listen to a lot of Dacara's stuff, there's so much going on vocally. Like one of the most obvious examples of that is Has Been at the very end, the Theatre Kid section.
Yeah.
Or Megalovania, just the absurd amount of vocals in that chorus.
That was very fun.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on how much vocal stuff is going on without it feeling like it's fighting with the rest of the music. Like, so one of the big things with Matches was sort of learning how we could do that and sort of setting the groundwork of how we approach a lot of stuff going forwards in that song. So delay throws, I can go on for years about production here. Like delay throws on the vocals or like little if you've heard it, there's like a do 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 like oohs and stuff like that, just sort of filling the sort of sonic space out, if you get me. And obviously Emma, big brain Emma, coming up with all of that and then sort of slotting it all into place and going, right, we know how we work together now. So it was, yeah, I describe it as more just an experiment of how do we work together in a band setting, as opposed to, right at the beginning, 3 musicians who all have different opinions on what they like and what they write. And how do we come together to, like, work with the bones of a song, which, again, we'll get into more later on.
And make it us.
Yeah, and make it us and make it a collaborative effort, not here's David's song, and then if say you went further down the line going, here's David's song, here's Callum's song, here's Ben's song, here's Emma's song. Have it like, here's Dacara.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's hard for a lot of bands to do, to find a sound that is very uniquely them. But I'm quite lucky in saying that I think Dacara has found that without much effort.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
we've already knew each other very well. I think that really helps. But like, even though we do have very different ideas on what we like musically, it still just somehow worked and came together. So yeah.
That unity you have, it's sometimes quite rare in bands because, egos clash.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in such a heavy creative process, people want to have their own spin on that. And the fact you guys, on your first song, came together and made it you, and something I believe that you're all quite happy with.
Yeah, 100%.
Something that's quite rare. And that's honestly, it's quite a beautiful side to music. And it is something that, I think with rock and metal, that is it's quite heavy, isn't it? It's like, it's still, a very friendly environment. Like,
it is.
Any metal concert you go to, you could go on your own and you're going to make friends.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which is really just really, really nice to see with you guys. And it also makes it like, if someone's going to their first gig, right, I would honestly now recommend you guys, because that friendly environment you have in your band and you have on stage, and that shows in your process, which is very lovely to see, if you don't mind me saying.
No, 100%. Thank you so much. Like,
we appreciate that.
We take pride in like trying to make it for everyone, like the live scene especially. Like, at the end of the day, like, don't get me wrong, we adore mosh pits, we adore walls of death, as you saw at the show.
Yes.
Like, we adore that sort of more, I'm going to say aggressive, but it isn't the correct word, but I'm not going to spend 20 minutes finding the word.
I think it's collaborative. Like, everyone's sort of all right to be in each other's space.
Yeah.
It's an outlet.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Like, but if it's not for you, like, you're not going to get pulled in by somebody that you don't know and forced to participate. If you want to,
we don't like that.
If you want to be at the front and like vibe to what we're doing, or you want to be at the back and vibe, or you want to be directly in like the center of the action, it doesn't matter where you are. You're having fun no matter where you are. That's kind of the big thing that we want.
Yeah, we want to be the comfort band, the fun band, the band that you go to when life is stressful and you just want to have a party. That's what I advertise the headliner as. It's a Dacara party. It's not a gig. It's, come down and have fun.
I'm so sorry I called it a gig then.
No, it's it's just Emma being there.
It is a gig, but like I would describe it as a party when people asked, because that's the vibe I wanted.
It really was. And anybody who has a chance to go see you guys live, I'm just going to say go.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, go. Just go do it. So this actually leads quite nicely into the third question. How do you get your name? Why Dacara?
Do you want to start on this one?
Okay, so it's like a kind of thing between all the band members. It's an acronym. It stands for something. And we tell people a different thing every time when they ask. It's a secret, basically. Yeah, it's like an inside joke almost between us.
Yeah, and we can't tell you. We'd get murdered.
We would get murdered.
So
am I going to be okay hearing this?
We're not going to give you the actual...
We're
not going to tell you what it actually is.
Yeah, it's grand.
We tell people a new one every time, just because it's funny.
Yeah.
I've not got a good one for now, so do all. What's next? C.
Why do you not?
How did you
not know that?
I can't read.
No, you tried to write our band name on a wall.
It was a flag.
What did you say? Like
it was a flag.
What was it?
Dacara.
Dacara. Yep.
It could have been so much worse.
It really could have.
It was a good friend of ours.
Dacara, my friends.
And he had a flag, and he was just like, yeah. So for context, we're heavily involved within Rockfit, and Rockfit is exercise to rock music. It's really cool. They do flash mobs everywhere. They had a set at Download, I think it was last year.
Yeah, that was cool.
They did a flash mob at our gig, which was really cool. And there's a guy there called Alan, and we love Alan to bits. And he's getting all the Rockfit bands that he sees who have a song that they do in Rockfit, and he's getting them to sign his Rockfit flag. And I was there and signed it and didn't think anything of it. And then Myth, our graphic designer, the brains behind the visuals of Dacara, like, just looked at it and went, "You've spelt it wrong." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was just like, "It says Dacara." And it took me like 20 seconds before I clocked. And I've not even signed it in like a hideable location. It's really obvious that I've put Dacara.
Come see Dacara now. It's like it is like walking into your GCSE or your A level and writing your name wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Apologies to Alan. Like, just sorry, Alan.
Emma, you can write on the wall.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I said that as soon as we walked in. I was like, Emma, you're writing on the wall.
Unless you want Dacara on the wall.
No. We don't want to, taint this memory.
Oh, we've got Dacara or Dacaria. We've had so many mispronunciations of the name.
It's fun. I love each and every one.
Yeah, it's great hearing them.
I have just been watching House of Dragon as well as the Dacaras.
There's another one.
It is fire. Music is fire.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
There is a camera here, and I keep pointing at it because I know I'm
I've
normally
not been looking at it.
I'm normally a face made for radio. Right.
Do you remember that sign you were saying? No.
Fair enough. You got me. All right. So, what is the acronym for this time?
Emma, a word that begins with C.
Cats.
Do all cats abbreviate?
I can't say any swear words. So
You can't swear, Emma. Do all cats?
Please don't swear.
I will
Do
not.
all cats abbreviate? I don't like abbreviate. Do all cats?
It was going to be the A word that I was going to say.
Oh no, Emma, no.
Okay.
Do all cats acknowledge revolutionary atoms?
Whoa,
That's
There you go.
that's nerdy.
yo. You got Seb Howell's gonna message you next. They'll be like, yo, can you go on any song? So, this question is a 2-in-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after matches, I'm right in saying you released Megalovania and
Yes.
Just Monica,
Mm-hmm.
both fantastic songs. And the first part of the question, so they used in Just Monica is a character from the hit horror game. Yes, it's a horror game. Doki Doki Literature Club. That game scared me. I'm not going to say the word.
Senseless.
Yeah, senseless. I played it at 3 a.m. before
Oh dear.
going to school. I played the entire game one night. And you used the character from that Just Monica. So the first part of this question is why that character?
Why? Well, so with Just Monica, what I wanted to do, concept-wise, was to write a song about obsessive love, and to the extreme. And at the point I had played the game, and obviously, it's a psychological horror, but because, spoilers, sorry guys, she sort of takes over all of the characters and makes them so undesirable for the main guy so that he would pick her. I was like, well, that's obsessive to the extreme. So if I want to do this, I'm going to do it about her. Because it's sort of, yeah.
I mean, it's the perfect character for
It works. So.
Yeah. And that leads on to the second part. So in a lot of your songs, you have like this gaming and the anime influence, which I love personally. Why? Straight up, why?
It's another version of putting ourselves into our music, isn't it? I mean, it's things that we enjoy that we can put in the songs. And then obviously, like, the fans that come out of it are into the same stuff that we are. And we can relate in that way, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I think, as Emma was saying then, like, it's sort of creating, like, another way that people can relate to the music.
Yeah,
like
a window into us and who we are. Because I think it's important when people like the music to be able to, like, I don't know.
Relate to the musician.
Yeah, get to know the musician.
We like these things, so we want to write music about them. And as Emma said, perfect way of wording it. Like, it's a good way to offer another way of relating aside from writing about our emotions. Like, obviously, we try to have a double meaning in a lot of our music, especially more now. But like offering another method of relating, if you don't necessarily get the emotions that were maybe being felt. Excuse me.
Don't worry, it's just on radio.
If you don't necessarily get the emotions that were necessarily felt in a song that we've written, like maybe you feel how, like maybe you really enjoy this game, so you can relate to us through the game that we have chosen to sort of represent that. We'll quickly if you're cool with it, we'll quickly briefly touch on like Repent. Repent's a really good example of that.
That's a really good example.
So obviously one of Emma's favourite games, sorry to speak for you here, Emma.
No, it's alright, it
is Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. Hours on that, lad. Hours.
Like there was a phase when like I'd go pick her and Callum up and she'd just be on Binding of Isaac for like every time for like 6 months straight.
A mate of mine used to play that in the back of the class when we were doing journalism. So I'd just be sat next to him 3 minutes. I'd look over. It's like, what is that? What is that? Is weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but I love it.
It's a very strange game.
It's like this meaty kind of heart.
There's a lot of it. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
So I have to ask, when's the song on the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring games?
Oh
my God.
That's actually a really good guess.
That is a really good
Our
guess.
next song is called Rot.
Yeah.
Scarlet Rot.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm
Nice
gonna
job.
flex here for a second. I platinumed all of them.
Fair play.
That is a
Better
nice-
man than me.
that's good.
The next one is called Rot. It's based obviously Scarlet Rot around Melania. I'm trying to not give spoilers here for if someone's not played the DLC, so I'm going to kind of subtly touch on it without really giving stuff away, going into sort of like Melania, the revelations that we've got from the DLC with Mikola, and like, is everything as it comes across in the sort of initial, like Melania's devotion, that kind of thing? Is it necessarily the way that it's viewed, or is there more to it? Obviously, you'll know what I mean with the new DLC.
The final boss, the one that had I should just talk about this. Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls are these very hard games made by FromSoft, and they're made to test people's patience. I play them for fun. And they released a DLC recently for their brand new hit game. Well, not really brand new, it's 2 years old now. Elden Ring, Shadows of the Erdtree DLC. Curse you, Vale. I'm going to do the joke. Hopefully someone will.
I got it, don't worry.
Yeah. But I think these games are very visually beautiful, and they're very deep in lore.
Yes.
Yeah, the lore is astounding.
The lore.
Like the visuals on their own are just mind-bogglingly, like, just the concept art alone, like the loading screens that you get are just like, there's so much depth into them. Like, I could gush about Elden Ring for ages. I lost so much of my life playing Elden Ring. My partner was very worried about me.
So was mine.
She legitimately came to me one day of just like, should I be worried about you? And I was like, no, I'm fine. This is how I play games. And she was like, yeah, but it's to the extreme here. Like, this isn't you on World of Warcraft. This is a step above. Should I be worried? I'm like, no, I've just got to beat this boss and then I'm done. I promise.
Is that how you practice your metal scream?
But yeah, like, jumping quickly back to Repent of the dual sort of meaning, like, obviously Emma can explain like the meaning of like the relationship between Isaac and his mother and the feeling trapped kind of thing. I'm phrasing that correctly, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially.
I took the storyline of that and sort of tried to make it realistic in our world. Obviously, God has not spoken to someone's mother and said, kill this child. I mean, some people might believe that, but, I just wanted to do it in a kind of relationship where maybe someone has parents who put a lot of pressure on them and they feel like they have to live up to that, or they feel like the parents are not giving them, that kind of love. And I wanted to explore that a little bit. And I knew that would work within the story of Isaac.
Yeah,
it's not just flies and blood and hearts, There's lore in Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, it's very grim lore.
The lore.
And that kind of, like, Repent is kind of one of the... Better isn't necessarily the word. More...
It's happening.
It's coming. You can smell the burning of my brain, can't you?
Need more Red Bull.
Maybe. Is one of the more effective ones at conveying dual message without feeling like it's a dual message.
Yeah.
Because when you slightly adjust the story to Binding of Isaac in a way that Emma has, it's so quickly relatable because I think everyone's felt the pressure of, if not necessarily their parents, just somebody
just someone in their life that's important to
trying to vicariously live through them at times. So like, obviously using Repent as the example, like Repent's a really good example for using something that at least one of us is extremely passionate about, Binding of Isaac, with Emma, and trying to not just be like, here's a song, here's Isaac, now there's a devil, and some noises, and that was the song.
Yeah. I would just like to preface that this is not about my parents. I love my parents. Had a few teachers, maybe in the past, but
I
not
think we
parents.
all have.
Yeah.
Don't worry. My first physics lesson in year 7, I flooded the classroom.
Love that.
That's
I had him for
legendary.
5 more years. He still didn't like me.
I rate that.
So the next one, I apologise as it gets personal. I have asked the question to somebody before in my creative writing class, and they burst into tears.
Oh.
That's what
So what gets you in that creative mood?
Didn't cry.
Nearly though.
Honestly, man, I don't stop. Like, if you put me in a room where I know music is gonna happen, I'm gonna do the music. I think though you need to be in the right mental space. Like, if you're having sort of like bad mental health day, maybe not so much. But then sometimes I use that. Like, if I'm in a really bad mood, I'm like, I can make myself feel better by putting this into music and getting it out. It's almost like confiding in someone, like speaking about your problems, but you don't have to be accurate with every single word you say. You don't have to think, oh, how can I explain my feelings? Because you can just do that by expressing yourself and by singing. Like, it doesn't have to be, writing a paragraph on all of your problems and trying to figure out exactly what's wrong with you immediately, because I find that hard. So I think expressing that in music is probably one of the easiest ways I can do that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was it.
I don't know. I thrive off seeing other people do well, which is a really weird way to say it.
That's emotional.
Like so for context, I'm a sound engineer and a lighting engineer. But seeing bands who do really well at the venue I work in, and then that'll send me home just like, I want that, and then that'll put me in that sort of, not necessarily creative space, but the oh man, you can really smell the burning right now.
Well, they can't smell it. It's on either a video.
Oh yeah,
You have to
just
imagine.
trust
I
me.
can,
You
though.
can smell the burning of my brain right now. It sort of puts me. It gives me the. I'm not going to be able to think of this word now. This is really annoying.
It's all right.
It gives me the effort. Effort isn't the word, but we're going to pretend it is. It like fuels me to get in that creative process and sit at home and do what I need to get something together, kind of
I'll
thing.
tell you what inspires me. Like, when you guys have written something really cool that I'm like, whoa, and I can sort of visualize, like, playing it on stage. Or, like, I'll immediately come up with a melody idea that's running in the back of my head based on what they've written, and I'm like, okay, let's go.
Like
Before,
like a hook.
yeah, right? So, that's an emotional answer, but I bounce off these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are my inspiration.
I think both me and you have felt it with the one coming after Rot. Like,
Yeah.
Rot's basically done now. Like, Rot is...
You have an entire like thing set up. You've got a load of plans.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, oh,
Rot
yeah.
is coming next.
Mm.
Do you have a date?
Nothing just yet. Early
Soon.
New Year
Yeah,
is
early
We've still got a music video to film. We've still got artwork to finalise.
Yeah.
Being a fan of Elden Ring, I think you'll really like the artwork that we have in mind. And then after that, I won't bother. I'm not going to say the name right now, but both me and Emma, like Ben brought this to the table, and like he was like, "No, it's not good. It's not good, guys." And I was like, "Send me
You
the stems,
silly.
you silly boy.
Silly
send
boy."
me the things to play with." And then I think I spent like 8 hours. I was meant to go to bed. And then I sent it back through, and Ben was like, "Oh, it sounds cool now."
Yeah.
It's that creative juices. You ain't
Yeah.
sleeping. You ain't sleeping.
Yeah.
You're going.
And then the amount of times, like, we're on the way to practice, and like Emma's just been like, "Can you play the song, please?
And then it's done, and I'm like, again, play it
Play
again.
it again, please."
It's like the child's at the back. Again, again,
No,
Yeah.
again.
I was very much like that. I was giving those vibes.
Aw.
So yeah, like, I've forgotten the question now. Well, I guess the creative juice is flowing.
Yeah, that's the
That's the
question.
question.
But like that's
Work.
like Emma said, like it's for me, it's a combination of seeing other people do well and like acknowledging that's what I want, and I need to put myself in the space to create that.
Mm-hmm.
And like Emma said, just when somebody sends something through, and I'm just like, oh
my
that's
God.
cool.
That's gonna go off.
Yeah.
which is what
Like-
the Ben song is.
Yeah, the
It's
new
not
the
one.
new song that Ben sent through is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be mental.
Ben, I'm really excited.
No pressure, Ben.
No
Yeah,
pressure.
no pressure, Ben.
Yeah, there will just be this 5'11" rugby lad sat here. Well, I should say former rugby lad now, sadly, but just sat here like, where's the song, Ben? Where's my song? Sorry, listener, I got quite close there.
Oh, I've done that like 6 times to them so far. They'll be fine.
Yeah, but you guys got nice voices. You're musicians. You're used to it. But right, this leads perfectly on to the next question. So your latest release has been?
Yeah.
Yes.
I keep saying that wrong because I'm thinking of Has Been Hotel.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
You bang on. The song is about Has Been Hotel.
Yep.
I didn't even clock that till right now. I'm clever and I don't even realise it sometimes. So it was released on the 12th of October this year.
Yes.
Yes, really good song. I have to say it was when you played it live and when I listened to it, really really good. And that's something I've noticed with you guys as well. Listening to it on the headphones and listening live, it is consistent. There's
Thank
a
you very
lot
much.
Of,
Very good.
You know, a lot of like musicians you go to live these days and they're just so different to what.
Yeah, I get you.
But you guys were really consistent, and you know it was like having my headphones on.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I think especially this song because the thing is when you played like your other songs, I could tell you play this a lot.
Yeah.
And I noticed like when that song came on, you really got into it,
Mm.
and it looked like you were really enjoying it. Which leads me perfectly into this question: is how has your process evolved from 2019 to this year?
Would you like to?
Oh, yes. Well, okay, so in sort of the earlier works that we did, like the Just Monica and like Billions, that type of thing, like, well, not Megalovania, but with Just Monica and Sell Out, like, I would come up with like a melody hook and then the guys would write around it. Whereas now it's more of like a unit thing where it's not just one person having like one idea. Like we all sort of like contribute a bit more. I mean, that's going to happen. The longer that you're in a band, the like easier it's going to be to collaborate. But when before it was just, I think, me and Callum who would send each other stuff. Now it's everybody. We all get stuck in. And that just makes it sound so much better because obviously like it's, all of us.
Yeah.
It's proper Dacara sound now. I think we just want to step up our game each and every time. And think we are adding more like synthy kind of elements and like just trying to up production and stuff, which is a big part of Dyson.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just
thank you.
every single song, that's right. Every single song we do, we want to evolve it and we want it to be better than the last one. So we can keep that consistency up with like, songs that
if you
people
don't mind me
enjoy.
saying, I was saying it earlier, but that really shows in your music. There is a very clear evolution line, like you're adding more vocals and
Yeah.
in more introduction, like a nice try that metal scream you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's cool.
really stands out to me, and I have to say it is a very so when I was researching for this interview, I started in Matches and I ended on this Husband, and I have to say the evolution was so lovely to hear, and I can now listening to you and talking to you, I can feel your influences on the music. Even the members of the band that aren't here, I can feel their influences, and it is very lovely. It is. I didn't really know what to expect at times of this interview, but now I'm just walking away with a really nice, warm, fuzzy feeling in my stomach.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Yeah. Has been is like Emma said, it's become more of a collaborative effort. Especially with vocals. Like vocals are, in my opinion, some of the hardest things to dial down. Because like me, Callum, and Ben, we can get away with just playing power chords for 3 minutes. As long as Emma's singing something cool, nobody cares what we're playing. As long as it works, that's all that really matters, within reason, obviously.
where's my sign?
Yeah, I was gonna say like, again.
But whereas with Has Been, like, especially that end section, like, that I'm so proud of that end section. Like, I described it as the theatre kid section because obviously Has Been Hotel is a musical cartoon.
Wanted to give a little nod to that.
Favorite song?
Yeah, and then you've got that sort of like,
Oh, you're asking me what the favourite song
Yeah,
has been?
favorite song quickly.
go on,
Okay.
what's your favourite song in Has Been?
Am I gonna get? No. What's the song where Two Daddies are going off? What's his name?
Hell's Great Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. I like that one.
Mine's probably More Than Anything, which is such a weird choice for me.
That's a bit left field.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm
didn't
not a
think you were gonna say
musical
that.
guy at all, but my partner is, and she was just like, "Why is this your favorite song? This is so musical." And then I think that's followed by the cannibal song. Do you know at the very end? It's not the very end when she's getting all the cannibals together.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like
yes.
that.
That is, those two are the most musical
I know.
of the list.
I know.
I fully thought you were going to say, like, the second or third track on it with the angel guy.
Oh, we love Poison.
Oh, well, obviously we love Poison.
Yeah.
I
My
thought that
girlfriend,
was
my
too of an
girlfriend was
obvious
going to
song.
kill me. I forgot that name.
I feel like that was too much of an obvious answer, so I was like, I'm not going to give that one. Everyone's going to know I'm going to say that. It's such a good song. It's the best song.
It's so weird that they're my favorites, but like,
Yeah.
I love the concept of musicals. Like, musical music is astoundingly written. But like watching musicals in like a theater, at a cinema, I don't know why. It just kind of pulls me out a bit, and that's nothing against them. It's just not my form of media or art form. But already has this huge suspension of disbelief being a cartoon, if you get me.
Yeah.
So that I can sort of really just appreciate what's going on without going, why is Russell Crowe singing? And that's such a stupid way to like word it, but that's kind of what happens in my head with them. Or yeah, like at the end of Has Been, going back onto sort of me not talking about Russell Crowe. There's that bit where it's me, Ben, and Emma all singing together. The instrumental is quite simple compared to like earlier in the song because you've got to leave that space for this big vocal section. And there's like 3 different sets of lyrics going off at the same time, like you'd see in a musical. From like, easiest way to describe it is like Emma's singing from Angel's perspective, then is it Valentino?
Yeah.
Then I'm singing from Valentino's perspective, and it's like we're singing the same thing for most of it lyrically, but there's just little words that change to like I don't know the lyrics off the top of my head.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I close my eyes to survive you.
Yeah, so like Emma sings like I close my eyes to survive you, and then like my line is so close your eyes to survive me. That kind of like tiny little difference of singing. We're singing is it a counterpoint, or are we just normally harmonizing? That doesn't matter. But like we're singing a harmony together, but we're singing different things like you'd see in musicals of 2 characters singing their perspective. And then Ben's like gluing it all together with a sub-octave of what Emma's singing, and you've got 2 of Ben, where you've got Ben singing the sub-octave of Emma, singing Emma's lyrics, and then you've got Ben doing a sub-octave of me singing my lyrics. Going on the topic of Ben's an absurdly talented musician who needs to chill out. Which
Don't
sort
chill
of
out.
glues... Yeah, please don't. We love it. Which sort of glues it all together of... You have mine and Emma's voices, which are quite different in, like, tonality and levels of grit, that kind of thing. But then you've got Ben sort of gluing us together by holding this, like... This harmony at the bottom, just with one consistent vocal tone, if you get me. So me and Emma, like, glue together a lot more. And on the topic of like evolving music, we've done that before in Try Hard, if I'm not mistaken. The end of Try Hard. It's me and Emma. We're not harmonizing in that one, but that very last bit over like the big emotional. I think I jokingly called it. Is it Anchorman? The film? There's a film. I think it's Anchorman, and he's in a box and he's just like, I'm in a glass cage of emotion.
Yeah.
It's such an old meme. But like that bit of Try Hard, the bit I describe as the glass cage of emotion bit, me and Emma are singing the same thing with the same lyrics, and Has Been to me is like a natural evolution from that of we're harmonizing, we're singing the same thing but different perspectives, and then I drop out at times, Emma jumps in with an additional harmony at times. It's a theatre kid bit. I think we're all just theatre kids at heart. I think that's the end of my little tangent on...
I think that's really, quite the passion you had in your voice there was something to be commended.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. The end of Has Been is such... I didn't realise, I didn't catch that bit when you said it. Fear of me, fear of... No.
Yeah.
That is... I felt that. That was spiky. like in my heart there, I felt that. It was very, very clever. I'm going to say very clever because I'm
Thank
going
you.
to have to move us on a bit because honestly, I could praise you guys to Kingdom Come. So watching you guys live was a pleasure, and seriously, to all our beautiful listeners, go watch them live. You're missing a trick if you haven't seen them live. Seriously, it was. I didn't really know what to expect, and then I walked into the concert, and it was, wham, amazing. Seriously,
Thank you so much.
I was
Thank
blown
you.
away. So, compared to your most recent gig, which was at Deaf Institute, to your first gig, which you previously mentioned, how did it go? Like, you know, and also David, fantastic stage presence. As
Thank
mentioned,
you.
he was everywhere. I don't think you stopped moving.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
I just drink too much Red Bull.
You do.
I enjoy being on a stage. I live for it. So I don't know, adrenaline just gets me through it. My cardio is car in day-to-day life, so my only logic is my adrenaline gets me through it, and it's, yeah, I like to put on a good show for everybody, as does the entire band.
I think my experience with my first ever show and Dyson's experience with first ever show with Dacara will be different because Dyson's been in bands before me and I have not. So, like, obviously, like I said, I've been singing for a long time, but my background was very educational, kind of boring, but it was very educational rather than go out and experience it. Like, Dacara is my first band that I've ever been in. Before that, it was literally just like assignments and stuff like that. Like, I would do shows in front of people, but it would be very like in the vein of, oh, this is an academic situation. So when I first started like singing with them, I was very still, trying to focus on being as perfect as I could, making sure that all the notes were like on point and whatever. Like, I wasn't really, obviously I wanted to, you know, do a good performance, but my idea of what a good performance wasn't the same as the rest of Dacara at the time. It was like, I want to sound good, not I want everybody to feed off the energy that I give, because I wasn't giving a lot of energy. So like Dacara for me was a very important journey that I had to go on in order to get to the place that I am now with my stage presence. Like, now I'm moving as much as I can. Obviously, I'm not moving as much as Dyson, because if I do, I'd run out of breath. So I probably wouldn't be able to sing like I can. But because I sing very, very fast, thanks to 2.5 minute songs. But yeah,
that must really, you know, like when you set the stage, like, oh my god.
it is. But I love the challenge so much. Like, Dacara, not in a bad way, is a challenge, but it is a challenge. Like, it pushes me because, you know, obviously, like, I have to do, well, especially with Has Been, it's like word after word after word after word. And especially with the recent show, Death Institute, I think that's the first time for a long time that we've done like a 53-minute set where we've done like literally all of our songs. And I've had to do that like back to back. Obviously, we have breaks, but like it was a real challenger for me and my stamina and stuff. And I came off the stage feeling happy. I was like, I did it, you know, I didn't mess up. But like, if you saw me from my very first gig to now, I think there is a YouTube video of me with my red hair, like when we weren't even green yet, where I was just stood there, like I was smiling, but you know, nothing was really going on. To now, it's cool, it's nice. I feel proud that I've worked hard in that sense, and that my stage presence isn't boring anymore.
I think boring isn't the right word.
Okay.
I think.
Where's the sign?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the sign
bring the
now.
sign out.
Stagnant. I don't know. Like the way that I perform is very different. I perform like they do, rather than.
I think, yeah, you're more.
I'm
maybe
Dacara Emma, not just, oh, this is Emma Shippen from uni. It's like, this is
Dacara Emma. Yeah, that's a really good way to word it. My opinion is, we've obviously all massively improved as musicians. You should. I think if you ever take the approach of we're good enough, you're just letting everybody else suddenly become better than you, because you will stagnate insanely quickly. So obviously we've got much better as musicians. Our stage presence has naturally evolved. We've all got more comfortable with each other. So like, bless you, as you were saying, I don't stop moving, and it's lovely to see. But like, I move more now than I did. Like, I'm not saying I didn't move. I still moved a lot, but like, there's more now because I'm more comfortable around the band I'm with. I'm blessed. Our photographers who we take to as many gigs as we can, love them to pieces. Josh and Christina. I've clocked Christina in the head so many times because they're getting really good at it now.
What, dodging?
Yeah, literally just
Literally
knowing what
dodging.
I'm going to be doing. The raw shenanigans I'm about to pull on the stage, they're getting good at understanding what's about to happen. Like, they know in certain songs, like, I'll go to the drum kit and I'll just punch a cymbal because it's fun. But, like, I won't, like, casually walk my way over to the drum kit. I'll just be like, oh, I need to punch a cymbal now, and I'll just sprint to the drum kit. So they've, like, started figuring out, like, oh, this song has a bit where he could maybe punch a cymbal. Let's not be in his line of path to the cymbal. And that kind of thing, like, having those two on stage with us, like, we don't really even make an effort to, like, avoid them because it can detrimentally impact the show. But they've got so good at just sort of going, let's be careful now.
Oh, Dyson's coming.
Oh no, Dyson's coming. Let's
Look.
move to the other side of the stage.
Dyson, did they get hazard pay?
No, they don't.
They should.
They probably should. Also, Dyson, I just had to apologize. I think I just called you. I called you David a few minutes ago. I apologise
Either
for
or's
that.
fine. Don't worry about it.
same
Apologise. Yeah.
Nah, it's genuinely either or's fine. If you want to call me Barry, because my middle name's Barrington, it is totally up to you. I have no strong feelings on what people call me.
You're right, Barry.
Yep,
Does it affect you?
not in the slightest.
There we go.
I've been called a Rodney at work.
So many variations.
Yeah, but yeah, like, it's the other huge one is our production. Obviously, being a lighting engineer allows us to bring production to gigs, and we didn't manage to use them at the Deaf Institute show due to a number of reasons that we won't really go into. Stage size was a bit of a worry compared to Rebellion. We played Metal to the Masses this year and did incredibly well. Like, thank you so much to James and Jane from the 0161 for putting us on Metal to the Masses. But like our stage show is like absurd compared to just what we were back in the like early days where we just went on stage and played a set.
I
Like,
think
we took a
Masses
full
was-
lighting package to Masses was amazing. And yeah, it's just that sort of like, obviously we try and evolve and be much better musicians as we can, but we try to now also bring more. So you're not just coming to watch a band, you're coming for a visual, like,
The experience.
yeah, you're coming for an experience. Like, we're well aware that if you have 30 quid and you have let's scrap that. Let's say you have 60 quid and you have the option of watching Sleep Token at the Manchester Arena or watching us at Deaf Institute. 99 out of 100 people are going to choose Sleep Token. And that's fair. Sleep Token are phenomenal. We've got to bring something that makes us not compete isn't the word, but there's got to be a reason to come watch us aside from we are just a band playing
Song
music.
good.
Yeah, aside from just song good, because you might not have even heard of us.
I'm sorry, the dichotomy of like having this intellectual conversation and then song good. That's cracked me up.
Yeah, you've got to bring your A game. The scene, Manchester scene, we'll touch on this shortly, is so
Incredible.
stacked with bands.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to bring something to give you a reason to come and watch Dacara, aside from, in the immortal words of Emma, song good.
We've got to be worth your money and your time.
Yeah.
We want to put 110% effort into doing that.
Yeah.
I would have paid easily double what I paid to come see you guys. Seriously.
Much love and appreciation.
Next headline at double price, yeah?
No.
I'm hoping to get a free ticket. Just like,
Guest list. Sort them out.
Guest list.
you heard
cheeky
it here.
guesties.
You heard it here. It's on radio.
I'll put it on my Google Drive sheet at the end of today, don't worry.
Yes, right. See, Hon, I do make good connections. So, this is quite a bit of a change of pace, right? This question. So, you guys are a rock metal band, okay? But if you couldn't do those two genres, what else would you do? What else would you want to do?
Not country music. I don't like country music.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, everyone who loves country music. It's not for Emma. But no. So when I was younger, like when I was singing, my voice was naturally very sort of drawn to the kind of like jazzy, kind of like offbeat kind of vibes. And I would do a lot of jazz songs, in school because they would give you the song.
What are the jazz? Actually, don't mind me asking.
What are the classes yet? Oh God.
Yeah, what artists? Because there's a lot of jazz.
Emma, it was so many years ago.
Get called out.
I don't remember.
Are we talking about Ray Charles jazz? Are we talking about he did blues and jazz? Are we talking about more underground jazz in America? Are we talking about English jazz? Are we talking about electro jazz?
There's so much. Jazz is a massive.
I have to tackle jazz for an episode one day. I've started the research now.
I wish I could show you a song. I wrote a jazz song. Yeah, it's on my SoundCloud. It's called Lazy Bones, but like it was one of my first songs that I was the most. Yeah, write it down. Why not? It was the song that I was the most proud of. Little Emma sang it. Not Little Emma. I was 17, 18, but to me that's little. Yeah, called Lazy Bones. And I think my SoundCloud is just Emma Shippen. But yeah, I'm trying to think who inspired that. I can't remember her name, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and it's going to annoy me forever.
Bessie Smith, Diana Simmons.
That does ring a bell, but no. Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to be very helpful.
You've been amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Sign. Yeah.
Mine, I've recently really got into, so if you can't tell, we're all anime fans, like absurd anime fans. Triad was written to be an anime op.
Yeah, it was.
Mine, I've recently, from Jujutsu Kaisen, got really into, it's one song by said artist, Ali, A-L-I, and it's a song with, I think it's Ali and Aklo, I don't know who the lead writer is on it, but it's called Lost in Paradise, and whatever genre that is...
How did I know you were going to say that? How did I know you were going to say that?
Oh, it's so good!
It's technically on the Apple Music classed, I believe, as rock or J-pop.
Well, maybe we should say J-pop.
I'd say J-pop then, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would not describe it as rock. Like, it's way too, like... Jazzy isn't the word. It's got brass, swingy.
Yeah.
It's too swingy to be rock and metal. So, like, I don't know, Japanese swing? That sounds kind of cool.
Japanese swing, yeah.
Whatever Ali and Aklo did in Lost in Paradise, that.
Which is going to be another song recommendation. And we will get to Japanese music for an episode one day. And I have to say, how's your Japanese?
Awful.
Well, yeah, I've had to learn Japanese for 2 of the songs that I did.
Oh, yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. It was a little section in Kingslayer was the first, like, Japanese section. And, like, I learned it. I wanted to make sure that I knew what the words meant. It was very cute related words, Baby Metal. Like, I've done Gimme Chocolate by Baby Metal as well, which was just like literally give me chocolate, I love chocolate. It was very much like that. But I wanted to know what the words meant, and then I had to learn it phonetically because like I can't speak Japanese, but like I'd learn the words as like sounds, and then I just go over it until I knew it. But Gorengi was the hardest like challenge that I had to do, especially when some of it's so like fast, and it's obviously not in the kind of phonetics that's similar to what I'm used to saying. But yeah, I think before I went on to Deaf Institute, like I had to look at my phone like the way I did on phonetics. Like I was like, I know 90% of the song, so I'd just go over the lines and like, right, okay, that's fine.
I was sat next to my girlfriend when that came on. I just went, what? I was just not expecting it.
we make an effort to like, if we're doing something like a cover, because as much as we want to do a full original set, like especially in support slots, like no one has a clue who we are. Like some people will, but a lot of new people want to latch onto something, and new music that they've never heard before in a live scenario isn't the easiest thing to latch onto. Yeah. So we tried our best to put a cover in if we can, like not rely on them, but like just accept. Most people don't know who we are. They want something to latch onto, like kill the blooming hell.
It's a lot of Red Bull. Chill out.
Like Kill the Silence, for example, at that gig did I'm Not Okay. Cracking cover of I'm Not Okay.
Really, really was.
But it's that sort of logic of most people aren't here to see us. They're here to see the headliner. Let's give them something to latch onto.
Yeah. And because we were the headliner, we then wanted to do a cover that we knew that people who came to see us would appreciate, and we knew Gorengi was one of them. because obviously the anime. Like,
Yeah, like the anime. We've covered Rumbling before.
Yeah.
Oh, Simar touring.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to go watch them at A3 if it's not already happened, but I think I'm working, or I was working.
Sad time.
I missed it, or I will miss it. I can't remember which one. But yeah, we done Rumbling. Obviously, we did Circle With Me. We tried to make an effort to do something that we like. In the case of Rumbling and Garengi, we love both songs. But problem with Garengi is Lisa is built different.
Yeah, she do be.
Oh yeah.
I think I had to scream some of the highest parts at the end.
Just because she's insane.
She's insane. I did go into my falsetto for some of it as well, I think.
That's fine. Lisa goes into a falsetto for live stuff as well. Who cares, man?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, our Japanese isn't great, but obviously Emma, she won't necessarily have a clue what she's saying, but she can at least say a lot of the words from the songs.
Let's just hope one day when you do another Japanese cover that it's what did you just say? Not kind of like that.
Hold on, let me check my phone.
Yeah,
I wrote it down.
Let me get Dongaleo, please, before that bird gets me. So actually, that kind of leads me on to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably one of the most important questions I'll ask you. You are a very, very proud Manchester band. Right?
Yes.
Manchester is a huge part of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that Manchester influences your music?
Would you like me to take this?
Born and raised.
Born and raised, bro. Like we touched on before, the absolute caliber of Manchester bands is unfathomable.
High, very high.
Like right off the top of my head, obviously you have Dacara, you have Divinitas. Two bands I absolutely adore. I do likes for both of those bands, but like ignoring my personal connection, Dacara are phenomenal. Divinitas are just, it's not okay how good they are as musicians. And then you've got the lads in Forager. If you like new metal-y kind of stuff, Forager are phenomenal. And I could go on for ages, but I'm not, because the more bands I say, the more people will get left out.
Yeah, that's not
so like they're just off the top of my head, they're like three of my favourite Manchester bands at the minute. We've got to write music that's on par with those guys. Like, we have to have really good songs to be able to stand with the bands that we view so highly.
And there is a history with Manchester and music.
Yeah, like Manchester's music scene historically is incredible. But
proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, proud to be a part of it. And I'd say just trying to be on the level that I personally view some of these bands on is one of the biggest parts of us. Is like, we're from Manchester, we have to be good.
Yeah.
Like, we're a band from Manchester. People expect bands from Manchester to be good bands.
Yeah, exactly. About attitudes, the expectations that you have already, it's always going to be on your shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you go in music, you can't escape that idea of your origin, can you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's always going to influence you.
Yeah. And like, obviously we all have our personal reasons of like, and personal logic of how Manchester influences us musicians. But like you said, the sort of weight on your shoulders of, you are from Manchester, you are a good band. Trying to live up to the rich musical history and the status that Manchester has as a music city is a big part of Dacara, of just being like, we want to do Manchester proud.
Yeah.
Like, we want Manchester to look at us and go, they're a band from Manchester.
Yeah, they represent us.
Yeah.
That's cool. We're happy about this.
Yeah, literally that. We want Manny to be proud of us in the same way we're proud that we're from the Manny scene.
Yeah.
And
a
like,
wonderful, wonderful, terrible city.
Yes.
That we love so much.
We love it so much.
And its terribleness.
And it's public transport.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Let's not talk about public transport. I'm on a train to Leeds tomorrow at like 8 or 7.
If it comes. If it's not cancelled.
Thanks for that. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be stood there with all my stuff. Like, the train would be here 4 hours ago. Great.
If it's cancelled, I'll take responsibility. I am sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, everyone in Manchester knows that we love to hate our city.
Yeah.
But we love it, really.
It's our city to hate.
It's ours.
Strangely very wholesome.
Yeah, it's meant to be. I hope so. I hope it comes across that way.
So that moves us on to sadly our last question. Oh, I don't want this to end, really.
Yeah, we're having fun.
So I understand you guys have an event in Leeds with Wailing Banshee on the 28th
Yes.
of this month, yeah?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Go watch. Leeds is only an hour train. Go on. Yeah. I actually also bumped into a Spirit the Air at your concert. Another person who I've seen live. They're amazing.
They are.
Yeah, and they've also just dropped a new album. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seasons, I think it is.
Seasons.
Yeah.
It's a very good album. Yeah, heavily recommend. And you're doing so much. You've mentioned you got Rock coming out, another unreleased, untitled song. Ben, we're expecting a lot. Ben.
Ben also threw the start of Rock to the band as well. Like these two are like
he did.
Ben's starting points.
Ben's
like
babies.
Ben's been on fire recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one cool him down.
No, we will not.
But it's kind of like you've answered it a couple of times. But like, what's next? What's the next big thing for you?
So,
what are we allowed to say?
As much or as little as you like, please.
So we have a plan for next year, November again.
Yeah.
Obviously we have a Scarlet Riot show in Manchester. That is early February, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We are opening for Scarlet Riot at Rebellion. Scarlet Riot, a phenomenal band. And I think the main support is Phoenix Lake.
Yes,
off
Phoenix
the top
Lake.
of my head.
Also good.
Yes, also very, very good.
Yes.
And then, like you said, we have Leeds. We're supporting Wailing Banshee alongside Loose Cables and Matora Cliffs, I think it was. And then we are playing with, I'm pretty sure it's Forever Nescence in December in Nottingham. That's going to be really cool. Met those guys before, phenomenal band. And then a couple of things planned for next year. We'll be doing another headliner, which will be bigger, much bigger and better than the one that we've just done. That's
Always
not to say
step it up.
Yeah, not to say that the one we just did, it wasn't like phenomenal, but you've always got to step up.
Yeah, there's always that that extra gear.
Yes, 100%.
As soon as you can't go in extra gear, quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a very big plans in mind for next year. I'm not really going to touch on them aside from the gigs that we've already announced because I don't want to take away from those gigs.
Yeah,
or put unnecessary pressure on us and the rest of the band.
Fair enough.
So next year, November, we've got something else in mind, similar to what we did this year. But aside from that, obviously we have Rot coming out hopefully early next year. It'd be amazing if it's around the time of that Scarlet Riot show. We have Question Mark song after that, which I will not drop the name of. And at any point during this, we also have, as you saw the first song, Into Nice Try, the sort of hardstyle remix of that. We are releasing that. That is called Initialize. So we will be releasing that at some point. And then in other news and release schedule stuff, we also have a sort of reimagined version of Sellout. Because Sellout is a song about selling out. We just sold out Death Institute. We have Sellout Platinum Edition in the works because it kind of fits with that whole Sellout vibe. Like people releasing something that is the exact same, but it costs a lot more money for this really much smaller benefit. So
very poignant of the last few weeks.
Yeah, so we'll be releasing Sellout Platinum Edition at some point. I can't say when because I don't necessarily know. But we have a decent amount of songs ready to go, plus music videos. We've just worked with Jay Hillier for Has Been.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. He's the guy who did that.
Such a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah, really professional.
And how much he did with the fact that just the band weren't necessarily all available that day. He just had me and Emma to work with. It came out amazing. So we'll be working with Jay for Rot, Question Mark, and I think the next few videos we'll be working with Jay, and I can't wait to see what Jay does. But yeah, that's kind of it. I'm saying that's kind of it. I've not just word vomited a load of plans out.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Has Been video yet, it's on YouTube. It's literally just Has Been Dacara. Come subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can like and subscribe.
And watch it.
like.
Sell out reference.
Go watch it.
But yeah, we're really excited for next year. We have a load planned. And yeah, I hate to say it, but like just keep your eyes on the socials. Keep your eyes on the YouTube, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You know the standard stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be on TikTok a hell of a lot more now. So.
Yeah, we're stepping up our game across the board.
Pretty much, that's the aim. Always gotta.
Yeah.
Evolution is always a thing that always happens.
Yeah.
And honestly, that just sounds really exciting, like all the stuff you guys got planned. And I'm definitely going to see if I can come try it and see one of these gigs in the future. Seriously. So if you see me there, go sign. But yeah, no, absolutely fantastic have you guys on, and seriously, what an amazing guest to have. And listeners, go listen to their songs, go stream their songs, go watch them live. You know, if you do the TikToks, I'm not on TikTok, I swear to God. It's just not for me.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair
Honestly,
enough.
smart move.
Yeah, no,
I'm addicted. It's a problem.
I'd like to keep my brain somewhat healthy.
Wise.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on today, guys. You've seriously been amazing. This has been an absolute blast. And I don't really want it to end, but it has to. Everything good has to end at some point. But not
Apart from
Dacara's winning
Dacara.
streak. Yeah,
I think we're all saying this.
yeah, seriously. But I am definitely... So keep an eye out for Rock. Listen to that, you know. Any advice you give us before going into the song? Should we plug it into our biggest speakers, or should we put it on headphones?
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff in it. I don't know. Yeah, plug it into big speakers. Listen to the breakdown is cool.
Rips.
It's very cool.
So put your headphones
You're not going to blow up my speakers, right?
No, I won't blow your speakers. A little teaser. Anyone who saw us at the headliner has now learned that Emma can scream.
It is a recent development.
It is a very recent development. It is unfair how quickly she learned.
The bitterness.
I've been like screaming for years, and I'm happy with where I am, but like it took me ages to get it. And Ben echoes the sentiment, as does Callum. All three of us are like always trying to do it, and took us ages. And Emma's just like, I can do it now, guys.
Guys, yeah. Where are you going?
It's a happy accident.
Yeah, so like Rot is like the debut of Emma screaming, and again, Emma sounds phenomenal on it. But yeah, if you like Elden Ring, if you like Doom, we've taken a lot of inspiration from the Doom soundtrack.
The Mike Gordon
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, the Mick Gordon stuff. We've taken a lot of inspiration from that. You'll love Rot. Like, Rot is probably one of the heaviest DAC songs we've released in... I don't know how to describe it. Not like a knocked loose heavy, but like a sort of heavier than Nice Try, heavier than Demonetized, but at the same time
Really?
it's got
Yes.
but at the same time it's got like the sort of hyper synthy, hyper poppy elements that you'd see in like baby metal, modern Bring Me the Horizon. Like, is it Lost? I think it's Lost. Like the elements that you see from that. It's just a banger. Like we've shown how excited we are about the one after Rot, but that's because like we've been sat on Rot for so long.
Yeah.
But like we are so excited to release Rot, to see what people think. Obviously, you heard it live. We have played it live.
Yeah.
We sort of debuted it at Deaf Institute, and it will be in our set going forward. And then yeah, Rot is really cool. If you like Doom, play Doom while you're doing it. Try and kill Melania when you're doing it, or Boss of
Make it
DLC.
And
Without
when you are doing that, make sure you got like a cat or something. You know, something cute, something.
oh yeah,
calming.
you'll need it.
You will need something calming. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll need it. She's not fun.
Or just use Dacara to calm down.
Yeah,
headbanging energy. Yeah.
And then fingers crossed we'll do another April Fool's release song this year.
Oh yeah.
We did one a couple of years back, which was Add, Subtract, and Multiply. Then year before last, we did a cover of Livin' La Vida Loca, which is available. I'm pretty sure it's on dacdlc.com if it's still available. We didn't do one most recent year, but hopefully we should have one. Well, most recent year. This year, we didn't do one. Hopefully we should have a new April Fool's song for next year.
We have to make up for the fact that we missed this year.
We just dropped 2.
Yeah, we'll just do 2.
Dude, you could just do one that's just silence.
Oh, I've pitched that so much. It's a classical piece of music. I can't remember its name, but it is just like silence for like 4 minutes 22 seconds or something, and I've pitched like, guys, what happens if we release Silence for 2 minutes 11 and call it 4:22 in double time? I pitched that to them so much, and they're always like, we're not releasing Silence.
Do it.
But I think it'd be absolutely hilarious.
I think it would be great to have Silence and then just have a random like
Just Emma at the end going,
Just do a metal scream or something.
yeah. Midway through.
Right.
You gotta wait.
That is going to leave us there. Thank you so much for listening to Caffeine Music. I've been your host, Finn Armstrong, and I've been joined by
David
Emma
from the band Dacara. And honest to God, I'm going to get these guys. I might not have the music on today for the episode, but I will get the music on next week. Seriously, go listen to it. Go stream on Apple Music. Go stream on Spotify, because these guys are awesome and they deserve all the love.
Thank you so much.
Take care. I hope you finished your coffee. I hope you finished your caffeine. Or, as David, he's on his second Red Bull.
Soon to be 4.
Soon to be 4. It is 7:30, my friend.
Yeah, it's the morning right now.
Enjoy. Take care, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I've been Finn. Take care. Bye.
Bye.